Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back once again. I am Nicodemus Kane. Today is April the 25th, 2022. Sorry if I missed you all on Friday. I took the day off. Took the day off to have to myself. Sometimes we all need to have days off. I actually realized that within the first 4 months of the year, I've only taken 3 days off. You know how people are, they take a lot off. You will probably only take maybe 5 or 6 days for the whole year. That's just me. Usually by December, I'm being forced to take days to use my vacation time. But I did. I took a day off so that I had to go do a recall for our car, and then I was able to come home and spend a fair amount of time just getting my mind focused, because I have been grieved with annoyances lately. Especially yesterday, it seemed all kind of blow up all at once. So we're going to be praying to the Father for patience. Definitely looking for patience, and we're looking for patience, and we are looking for strength to be able to overcome not just problems in our lives, but physical problems as well. Especially today, we're getting a lot of rain, and we are going to be hoping that the water does not come into the basement, because we are still ongoing. We are doing what we can. We're digging up the backyard. Going to start talking about putting down piping and French drains and all the other stuff. It may not be perfect, but it is what it is. But at least this weekend we got started, and I feel better for it. We feel accomplished. We feel accomplished at the same time. Man, I am hurting. I'm feeling it today. All right. So enough about us. What's going on here? Today, let's read Psalm 130. Can you believe it? We've only got like 20 more of these. But today is Psalm 130. This is a song of degrees. Let me pull up the Strongs just in case I need it. All right. I'll give you a second. If you're following along, you can feel free to follow along. I had to take a drink. Yeah, I guess the rain just started a little bit ago, maybe an hour ago. And it's not so bad. The problem being is that it's going to get heavier. And we usually don't start seeing water in the basement until a couple hours after the rain starts. So all we can do is hope that it doesn't get so heavy. Because when it gets heavy, it gets heavy. But like I said, we have to put in some French drains. We have to put in something around the outer edge of the house in order to carry the water away from the house, which is not going to be easy because this house it's pretty old, and there's just so much stuff around the edge of the house that we're going to have to rip out all those bushes in the front, and we're going to have to rip out the bushes on the side. And yesterday we found out that there is it's not a second patio. It's like the previous owner, not even the previous owners, probably before that, probably in the 60s, they had kind of like a cement. It wasn't really cement. I don't know how to describe it. My wife said they were paving stones. She said that she was finding the edge of paving stones as we were digging them out. And we didn't dig them out. We just dug down to a point, but we left them in. We may have to dig them out now that I'm thinking about it. But there was a bush that's been in that corner of the house that I had to cut out, and that was a hole that was inside of cement or paving stones or something. And it seems like they have all kinds of something in that corner that got covered up. So, yeah. I don't know if I want to pull those out or not. There I go, talking about the house again. We need to quit talking about the house. We are here to read the psalm, so that's what we're going to do. Let me make one more check here just to make sure that we're still good. That we are still good. Okay. All right. Psalm 130. This is a song of degrees. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. If thou, Lord, shouldest mark iniquities, O Lord, who shall stand? But there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. I wait for the Lord, my soul doth wait, and in his word do I hope. My soul waiteth for the Lord more than they that watch for the morning. I say more than they that watch for the morning. Let Israel hope in the Lord. For with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption. And he shall redeem Israel from all his iniquities. Amen. Just the very first line. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Out of the depths, out of the darkness, out of the misery and the deep, the evil of this world, the bottom, out of the depths I have cried unto thee. Because we are all drowning in the misery of this world. Some of us aren't. The only people, I mean, I see a lot of happy people, let's be honest. There are people that have found their peace and their comfort, and I wish them the best. I absolutely do. There are people that have found peace and comfort and pure harmony with God. They've found their happiness and their righteousness in the Father. And I wish them all the best. Then there are those on the other side that have nothing but happiness. It may not be peace, and they may not be peaceful, but it is their happiness that they have, that they have gotten through evil means, evil deeds, lies. I was thinking about it. What was that, Saturday? No, Friday. Friday I was thinking about it. Entertainers do nothing but lie to you. You know? So actors straight up lie. We know this. Actors lie. I was trying to put musicians in there, but musicians lie as well. There are a lot of singers that will sing songs that are not theirs, pass them off as their own. There are a lot of bands out there that, so many bands I've known that have always said one thing and done another thing. A lot of them do plagiarize each other so much. There's not much original. I mean, there's, original music here and there, but a lot of them do lie. There's this there are secrets in the music industry. There are things that are not as they appear on the surface. And I was kind of trying to find a way that I can lump in musicians, but definitely actors, definitely. I was definitely saying wrestling because it's entertainment, because it's fake. I've been thinking about that a lot. I've been, the whole how much people were fooled, especially back in the old, because I've been saying that I've been watching old wrestling. I've been learning the psychology of it, I guess. Not for any ill means whatsoever. It was more of watching and learning how it is, because it's amazing how professional wrestling, the psychology, the tricks, the way that they were able to manipulate people back in the day is what mainstream media, mainstream news, governments are using now. It is incredible how easy it is to watch the world, or to watch the media manipulate you into thinking how bad a person is. And then when they need to flip that switch, it's very easy where it flips. And then, oh, hey, suddenly it's a face turn. Hey, I like this guy now. That's exactly the way it is. It's amazing how it flips almost automatically. And it's this basis of lies. This basis of manipulation. Trying to find that psychology of manipulation. And it's the very subtle ways that they do it. But that's what I've been trying to pay attention to. So on that basis, you can start looking at other forms of entertainment, such as sports. Now, people say, oh, sports, it's about, modern day gladiators going out and doing their best and yada, yada, yada. And you're like, no, it's not about modern day gladiators doing their best. It's about privately owned teams hedging bets for a giant system of betting. That sounds weird, I know. There are ties with the mafia in football. There are ties with the mafia in baseball. And there is a gigantic gambling system going on in the background. There's probably ties with the mafia in basketball at this point. But there is a gigantic betting system on the back end of it. Not only that, there is manipulation within the sports. Sports are fixed. Yeah, once somebody started pointing it out to me and I started being able to see it, I stopped watching the stuff because it was like you can see the manipulations of it. Once I started hearing guys on Twitter start saying that they can accurately predict with 90% accuracy the scores of basketball games, the scores of baseball games, the scores of football games, based upon birthdays and ages of certain people within the sport, within the realm of the sport. That's how I knew that there was, you start watching it. You start seeing the referees, the umpires. You start seeing them doing little things, making bad calls. Because that's all it takes to ruin a game for a team is a bad call. Just one bad call is all it takes. Little things here and there. And you start seeing the replays, and you start seeing these guys that, they'll say, look at this, look at this, look at that. Why did they let this guy do this? Why did this happen? Why did they call this so short? And you start seeing it. And it's it's just another part of that lie. It's that entertainment. It's that manipulation. And a lot of people don't like that. I've talked about this before, and I've had people come to me and say, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You can't say that it's all manipulation. How about this? How about that? How about yada, yada, yada? And it's like, all you have to do is pay attention. Really pay attention to what's going on, and you're going to see that things aren't what they are. You're being manipulated. You're being lied to. Entertainers are there to lie to you. I mean, on an extremely basic level. I mean, if you want to talk about like magic is all a lie. It's all, you could talk about the demonic magic with the guys that are able to do the things that are beyond control or beyond reality. I've seen some things that I can't. There is no sleight of hand there. There's something else going on. Maybe TV tricks, because it was all on television. Again, it's another lie. It's like the David Copperfield Statue of Liberty thing. They just move the camera. It's a lie. It's a manipulation. It's all manipulation. It's all lies. So, but I was thinking about that, and I was looping in even entertainment for kids, just every single bit of it. It's this world of lies. It's this world of darkness and evil that we have unfortunately allowed ourselves to believe is better than what can ever come after. And it's not. Again, people are told to live your best life here in this world because you only live once. The lie is that you get a better life outside of this with God. All you have to do is ask for forgiveness. Come back to Him, and He will give it to you. Come back to Him. Turn from this evil world. And there are things inside of this psalm that help cement that. Let's go on. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. Hear me crying. Out of the depths, out of the darkness, out of being put down. If thou, Lord, shouldest mark iniquities, O Lord, who shall stand? Father, if you were the one that is marking out the things that make us bad, the things that make us evil, the things that we should not be doing, we should not be saying, we should not be watching, we should not be listening to it, all the things that make us do bad things, cause us to have iniquity. If you're the one that marks out iniquity for us, then who shall stand? Because the Lord is righteous. The Lord, He is the Holy One. He is the one. If He is the one that is marking iniquities, who's left? There's nobody. We have all fallen short of the perfection of God. We have all fallen short. Every single one of us. We are all broken. We are all sinners in His eyes. We have all missed the mark. It's one thing that some people, my throat is getting all, hold on a second. I have already sucked down half of a water bottle just within the past 30 minutes because my throat is really raw because we were out there working yesterday. But we have all fallen short. We are all broken. in this world. We have all fallen for the lies. We have all slipped away from any kind of perfection that we could have found because we didn't know any better. We just didn't know any better. And it is because of that that we are all marked with iniquities. That we have to turn away from it. That we have to become better than we were. The world, that's what I was going to say before, is the world says that, you are fine. You are fine. Even though the house is burning down, you've seen the meme. The house is burning down, you're sitting at the table and you're saying, oh, this is fine. This is okay. That you are fine. You are okay. The world may be falling apart around you, that you are a broken person. You are okay. You're all right. You just have to keep soldiering through it. Keep soldiering through it, Hey, while you're at it here, why don't you go do some praying to some false god, or do some random ass other nonsense for some other false thing in order to become better. Go see a therapist. Sorry, I get on a therapist, man. I get on to psychologists, and they're not there to make you better. They're really not. They're not there to make you better. They are there to manipulate you into thinking the way they want you to think. That's all it is. And there's really no help there. I've talked to therapists. I said the one that I had whenever my mom thought I was going to go crazy and kill myself whenever I was a teenager. He did nothing for me. So, even back then I understood that it was more, well, what do you think? Make yourself better by picking yourself up, and you can do it. You can find the goodness inside. You can do this, you can do that. While you're at it, go make sure and do all this other stuff, that do whatever makes you happy. This cheerful garbage nonsense. What I could have used back then is somebody just to tell me the truth. Somebody just tell me the truth. Say, look, we are all broken. We all are falling apart inside, and sadly, it's this world that does it to us. That we are being lied to. We are being manipulated. That a lot of us don't know any better. A lot of us we're still just trying to find the reasons and to find the logic. And there's not much logic. There's not much logic here in this world at all for anyone, because it's all manipulated garbage. And we have to understand that there are better ways. There are better ways through this. But the first thing you need to do is come to the understanding that we're all like this. It's all bad. We're all broken. We're all broken, but we can heal. We can become better. We can absolutely become better. And if God should mark those iniquities on us, who would be left? Because no one is perfect. Every single one of us has fallen short. But there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. If you should mark us for iniquities, who would be left? Because we'd all be gone. We'd all be dead. But there is forgiveness. There is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. And not the kind of fear, go away, Adobe. Not the kind of fear that you're thinking of, that you should be afraid, that you should be something to be afraid of, that thou mayest be revered, stood in awe of, reverence, honor, respect, to cause astonishment and awe, to be held in awe, to inspire reverence or godly fear or awe, that you should be revered. But there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be revered, that thou may be stood with awe, stood in front of with awe. It's a lot of the places whenever it says feared, it doesn't mean what it is. That's a lot of people think of, unfortunately, whenever they read the Bible. And a lot of the new, sadly, not a lot of the new translations probably do the same exact thing. Oh, well, it just means feared. You're supposed to fear him because, if you don't do what God wants, he's going to strike you down and yada, 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 and all this stuff. It's like, no, he might strike you down. He might strike you down for saying that kind of garbage. No, you have to understand that the words can be manipulated. That we have to find out the truth. We have to study every word. We have to study what everything means, because there's deeper meanings here. There's 3 meanings to all of it. There's a literal, there's an allegorical, and then there's a spiritual. Every single line of the Bible has 3 different meanings, 3 different ways that you can look at it. And every single one of them works. If you should mark iniquities, who would be left? Because you could wipe every single one of us out. Because we're all broken. We're all broken. We're all marked with iniquities. But you have given us forgiveness. There is forgiveness with thee. There is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared, that thou mayest be revered, that thou mayest be put higher than anything else. I was a broken human being, and God decided one day after my 40th birthday, the week after my 40th birthday, he decided that he was going to break me down to the point that I had to ask for forgiveness, because I finally saw it. He chose to forgive me for all the garbage. And I am not perfect. I'm still working on it. But he chose to forgive me. Because he showed me the truth. He showed me the way. He showed me out of the depths, out of the garbage I crawled, and I cried out for him, and he chose to forgive me. At that point, I understood that I had been marked with iniquity, and he gave me forgiveness. And for that, I stand in awe of him. Just those 3 verses alone. If people would teach that instead of, if you don't follow God, you're going to go to hell, things would be different. Teach this. We are all broken. We are all in the depths of darkness. We are all crying out for something better. If God marked us with iniquities, because we are all marked, there would be nobody left. But he has decided there is forgiveness. And because of that, he should be revered. If they taught that, if they would take that out, put that on a sign, and walk out on a street corner instead of saying, all such and such go to hell, or all such and such will burn, or whatever, it would be different. But they don't, because evil has worked its way into the church. Evil has worked its way into the church, and the voices that are saying this kind of stuff are not being heard. This is why anybody that hears this, hears me saying this, if you hear me saying this, spread this around. Spread it around. Let people know this is the message. This is the message, not the other garbage in the world. Not that you're going to go burn in hell. Don't come at them with, don't come at people with a sledgehammer. Come at people, plant the seeds. That's what I was taught. What I was taught several years back is that I was trying to hit them with sledgehammers, and I was doing it wrong. And I was told, don't hit them with sledgehammers. You're planting seeds. You're planting seeds. You don't need to give them false messages to tickle their ears. You don't need to give them that. Tell them the truth. The truth of the matter is, we're all broken, and there is forgiveness. There's something better. Tell them that. This is not, and it's not a soft message either. It's not a soft message. This is, make sure you're not throwing your pearls before swine either. I mean, there's a whole other thing, make sure it follows along. It follows along with, if they're not going to hear you the first time, bring a second witness. If they're not going to hit you then wipe the shoes off or wipe the dust off your feet and walk away. I mean, sadly, some people can't be saved. I've learned that one. I've learned that. That's a hard message too, but I've learned it. But there are better ways. There are better ways to approach this stuff. And the messages are there. The messages are there. We just have to learn how to read it. We have to learn how to read it, to slow down, to not skip over these things, to read the Strong's Concordance, find out what these words mean. He's not to be feared. He's to be revered, to be stood in front of with awe. He will be feared when he comes back and he takes all the ones that absolutely positively refuse, the ones that are causing all this, the ones that have caused us all to fall short, the ones that have caused us all to be broken, the ones that have caused us all to be marked with iniquities. He's coming for them. Straight up. He is absolutely coming for the demons and the evil men and the manipulators and the liars and the cheats and all the other kind of stuff. He's coming for them. He has said that over and over again. I shall be coming for you, and thou shalt burn in a pit of fire until the end of days, the smoke of which will be seen forevermore. Oh, that's coming. That's absolutely coming. As far as everybody else is concerned, there is forgiveness. That's half the psalm. I still got another half of the psalm. I think I've spent 20 minutes just talking about just that. Some psalms are heavy, man. That's why we've been going through these. These psalms are heavy. When you read through some of these and you really get down to the root of them, it's amazing. That's why I have enjoyed this journey, and I'm kind of sad because we're at Psalm 130, and I know 150 is coming up, and that's 20 more days. So we've only got 20 more days of these. Oh, okay. I take another drink. I'm almost done with this water. Wow. I have, coming out of, just a side note, coming out of our Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Passover, tried some new things, ate some new things, did not eat a lot. What I did eat was fruit and salads, a lot of fruit and salads. Did not eat a lot of anything else. But man, it's a cleansing. It's a spring cleaning. It is a physical body spring cleaning is exactly what it is. And I believe that. It's to get your body prepared to, I think a lot of it is dumping the winter weight. You know, you put on so much weight in the winter whenever you're inactive, whenever you can't go out and can't do anything, that I think it's there to not only spiritually, but physically clean your body out, physically clean your house out, so you can be prepared for the coming year, because it's the beginning of the year. It's spring. It's the beginning of the year. And I definitely feel like we I got cleaned out. My wife said she doesn't feel like it did her any good, but definitely did me some good. Sorry, I got distracted looking at the carpet to see if there's any water seeping in yet. All right. Verse 5. Let's keep moving. I wait for the Lord. My soul doth wait, and in his word do I hope. Absolutely. My soul waiteth for the Lord more than they that watch for the morning. I say, more than they that watch for the morning. What morning? Show me the break of day, morning. More than they that watch for the morning. And that's exactly what it is. The beginning of the day, sunrise. Is it the same word? It's the same word. My soul waiteth for the Lord more than they that watch for the morning. More than they that look forward to the morning. More than they that look forward to the day. More than they that look forward to the sun, maybe? The sun worshipers, because I mean there's some possibilities going on there. You could take it as it is and say I wait for my God more than those that wait for the crack of day, the ones that wait for the new day to be able to go forward. You could also say that it's for those that are waiting for the sun to come up, because when it's the summertime, they don't have to worry about their sun being there, because the sun is always there. And right in the middle of the year, whenever the sun starts making the turn to where there's less and less sun, they start getting scared. They have a big celebration right in the middle of the year. We have already talked about this, July 4th. You have all these fireworks and the celebration for their... And no, I don't. I'm still not buying the whole American Revolution thing, But they hold a festival for the sun where they shoot off fireworks for it. So that it'll come back, and then they spend the entirety of September and October, whenever it starts getting darker and colder, preparing their sacrificial rituals. And then starting from the end of October into the winter solstice, they have their sacrificial rituals because they're scared that their son won't come back. And then, get this, then December the 22nd, thereabouts, when the sun makes its turn again to start coming back out, they have a party. It's the birth of their son. They have presents. They have a party. They worship their trees. They sing their songs. They sing their carols. Yada, yada, yada. Boy, howdy. They're happy. Their son is reborn. It's born again. It gets to come out. It gets to live once again, because they're so happy to see it, because they are worried that the sun's not going to come up. They're worried that the sun's going to go away, because God made their sun go away. He made the sun go away for 3 days. God did that, and they got scared. They got shit scared, because they think the sun comes before the light. No, God made light before the sun so that you wouldn't worship the sun. But that's what happened. Because the sun is everything to them. The sun makes the plants grow. The sun gives them energy. The sun is their everything. The sun is their light because they don't want to live in the darkness. They don't want the darkness. They want the light because their souls are dark to begin with. They don't want evil. They want good, but they don't want God. Because if they went to God, they knew they'd have to change their ways. You get it yet? Do you understand this? This is some heavy teaching I got going on here. This is some words. These aren't my words. This is some heavy stuff. I'm getting messages here. This is the stuff. My soul waited for the Lord more than those that watch for the sun to come back up, because that's what they do. I say more than they that watch the morning. They say it twice. Why does this say Psalm 119? Psalm 119, we were just covering that. Psalm 119, 147. Way back in the back. 147. Cough, the lie. I prevented the dawning of the morning and cried, I hoped in thy word. I watched the dawning of the morning because it wasn't prevented. The word wasn't I stopped at the dawning of the morning. It was I was there to watch the dawning of the morning is what it was, because I remember this one. And cried, I hoped in thy word. I watched the sun come up again, and I cried, hoping in thy word. Come on now. Come on. Put this stuff together. Put it together. Put it together. It's right there, man. It's right there for you. We got to keep going. Let Israel hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption. He gives you forgiveness. Everybody has fallen short, but there is forgiveness with him. He should be revered. Let us all, not just Israel, let us all hope in the Lord. If you believe you are part of Israel, you're grafted in. You're grafted into the tree. You're part of it. You should understand what that means. You are a part of the family. That we are all together on this. Some of us may fall off. You know, they talk about whenever they talk about the Israelites leaving Egypt, and they took a lot of Egyptians with them. They took a ton of Egyptians with them. A lot of those Egyptians, you know, when they got out into the desert, you know, and they wanted to worship their other gods and all that, God killed them off. There were still more of them out there, though. The ones that really wanted it, the ones that wanted to be a part of whatever was happening, they got to stay. They were grafted in because they wanted to be a part of it. It said at the very beginning, whenever it was talking about, what's it talking about? Abraham setting up a city or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. Where they said, anyone that comes to the city gates, if they want to be a part of this, let them be a part of this. Let them show us that they want to be a part of this. And if they want to be a part of it, let them come in. If they don't want to be a part of it, turn them away. Because all these people are going to do is just come in and ruin it. And that's exactly what's happened. Is that we've let too many people come in and give us false teachings, give us false hopes, give us all this false nonsense, and we started believing it. That's why it says, be mindful, use discernment. If you're a part of it, be a part of it, but do not let evil creep in any way whatsoever. If they want to come in and be a part of what's going on, that's awesome. But they have to show us. It is by their fruit. They have to show us that they want to be a part of it. You got to be grafted into it. Do not fall away from it. So many different ways I could say the same exact thing over and over again. But that's... Every time I read Israel inside of the Bible, I think of that. It's that we are the children of Israel now. He went to preach to the bloodline of Israel, the ones that had fallen, the lost sheep. He went to find them. He did not come to preach to the Gentiles, those that were just left over. There was, what was the woman that came in that she asked Christ directly. She said, what can I do? And, save me, help me. He said, I do not throw bones to the dogs. He compared her to a dog. And she told him, even us on the bottom, the nobodies, the nothing, the Gentiles, even we can eat the scraps. She had the understanding. She knew. She understood the way. And when he saw that she really wanted to be a part of it, she wanted to come into it, that she was willing to turn her life towards God, towards this perfect faith. He said, you are forgiven. You are a part of it. And she was pulled in. That's all of us. Rob Skibbe used to talk about this a lot. He used to talk about being grafted in, being a part of it, coming into it. And when you're into it, you start following the family ways. You start understanding what it is the family wants, about being adopted into it. He was talking about adopting his son whenever he married his wife, adopting her son, and that it doesn't matter if you're not a part of the bloodline. If you're adopted into it, you're part of the family. You are a part of it. And that's the same way, is that Israel will take those in that want to become a part of it, and that we will all become the children of Israel, the children of Abraham. Children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they all had one God. And that is our God. That is our Father. You get how all this ties together? I mean, it's heavy stuff. It's probably, this is not milk for kids. This is meat. This is the meat. It talks about, not giving meat to babies. This is this is a little bit more advanced than just throwing seeds. Some people may hear this and may never understand it, because they're not going to understand it, because they don't want to understand it. They don't want to be a part of it. I'm really trying here, Yeah, I don't know where I was going to go with that. I think I need to wrap it up, though. Let all of us that believe in the Father, hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption. And he shall redeem Israel. He shall redeem his people, those that are of the bloodline, that do believe, and those that are grafted in. He shall redeem them from all his iniquities. We shall be redeemed. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Is that the way it's supposed to be? Man, you ask 4 different preachers, and you ask 4 different preachers and a rabbi if that's what that all means, and they're going to say, I bet you one of them says yes, and maybe the rest of them say no. There's probably something else going on there. Because a lot of people still think that there is a separation. And I'm sure there is. I'm sure that there is some kind of a bloodline separation, you know. But again, we are all given the promise. Everyone is given the promise that you can be redeemed. You can be forgiven. You can be a part of it, but you have to want to be a part of it. And then you have to turn from the evils of this world. Come out of it. Come out of Babylon. I keep thinking about circumcision. If they want to be a part of it, tell them to get circumcised. Although I don't think that's you start getting into that, and then everybody starts talking about, you know, the circumcision of the non-circumcision, the circumcision, you know, the half the stuff that Paul wrote, and you know, Paul wrote in metaphors and allegories way more than Christ ever did. So it's kind of hard to discern. Some of it's not. But the thing about that was maybe it was that showing that they really wanted it. I don't know. I'm not going to go into that. What I am going to say, though, is that Christ gave us that option so that we could all be a part of it. He chose to be the perfect lamb, die to spill his blood, so that we may all be able to have that choice to be saved. Took the burdens of all of us onto his back so that we could be washed clean, so that we could have the chance to be saved from the iniquities of this world. Because if God's counting them, who's going to be left? If the most righteous being in the world is counting iniquities, who is going to be left by the end of it? None of us. But there is forgiveness. There is a way out. That's all I got. And that was kind of heavy. That's one of those that I'm going to be thinking about for most of the day. Whew. All right. So, anyways, yeah, guys, I ain't got nothing else. I've said it before. Sometimes those teachings get heavy on me too. Okay. I am starting to smell wetness in the basement. That means that I got to start looking for water. All right. I shall talk to you guys later. I'll be perfectly honest. I am praying not only for the spiritual things of this world, but I am praying for the ability to be able to fix up this house so that we have a place, most definitely a dry place to live, and the means and the ability for us to be able to fix it, because more and more it gets harder and harder for me to see the end goal. Father put us here for a reason. I've gone over this many times, not only in prayer but with my wife. I said, God put us here for a reason. Fixing up the house making it livable, doing what we have to do, throwing money at it over and over and over again. It's what he wants. He wants us to do this. I don't know why yet, but I keep asking him. I keep saying, help us in any way possible. So keep us in your prayers. Keep us in your prayers. Keep us in your thoughts. Hope that we can get this all worked out, and we can stay dry. And we shall talk later. So, thank you guys for coming around and listening. God bless every single one of you. Absolutely, truly, God bless every single one of you. Take care of yourselves. What in the world? I take one day off and I am flooded with I am absolutely flooded with emails. That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Great. But yes, take care of yourselves, and I shall talk to you all later. Bye.